and looking forward to an awesome week. In today's session, what follows your I am? This is absolutely critical to your success in life. And when I say success, I'm not just talking about your career and how much money you make and your title and your job and your role. I'm talking about a life of pure joy, inner peace, appreciation, and gratitude in any situation. You are going through life as you are meant to go through life, joyful and happy and appreciative. So the I am is essential to that because it reveals your story internally. What story are you telling yourself? And this is especially important from an energetic level, energy. Now, a lot of people don't think of that. They follow their I am with, well, I'm the head of a company. I'm an administrative assistant. I'm a virtual assistant. I'm a manager of some sort, a salesperson. I'm a father or a mother. Um, yeah, no, those are titles. Those are labels. I'm talking about something a lot deeper than that. I'm talking about the energetic vibration that we all are. We're talking 50 trillion cells in the body getting along. That's energy. Albert Einstein once said that everything is energy. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get it. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. Match the frequency of the reality you want. Whatever, everything has a frequency. Everything. So if you can match your frequency to the frequency of whatever it is you want, you can't help but get it. So the problem is if we're not doing that, we're getting in our own way. We're disempowering ourselves. So true power, true empowerment is making that connection. And you do that through mindset, through awareness, okay? Awakening to the field of energy we all participate. Einstein also said the field is the sole governing agency of the particle. The field is the field of energy, the culture that we're in, the environment that we're in, the people we hang out with. Everything is vibrational. Nikola Tesla, I'm not talking about the car here. The car was named for Nikola Tesla, a world famous physicist, said if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything is vibrational. So the I am, I'm not talking about a label now. I'm talking about the vibration, the feeling, the emotion that we're all emitting to the field. Because what we emit, we're like magnets. What we put out, we reap. What we sow, we reap. So we're going to find out today, what are we sowing? And how do we shift that potentially from if it's negative or dark or disempowering to truly empowering? How are we going to do that? So I'm going to give you a meditation and walk you through 20 affirmations, not two or three. I use at least 20 every day myself. And I've been doing this for over 20 years. And the results are miraculous, truly miraculous. You start to manifest things beyond your wildest dreams, and you're doing it without significant effort. That's another paradigm shift. People think, oh, I have to work hard to be successful. And Murphy comes along and says, no, you don't. We all know people who work their tails off and are miserable, unhealthy, in lousy relationships, and they're working their tails off. If you can understand the field, the energy that we all participate in, and align with a power a lot greater than any one of us individually, align with a higher power, the results are incredible. And we can do that through affirmations. So I'm going to take you through a meditation to do that. If you're not familiar with me, my name is John Murphy. I'm a fuel instructor. I have 3 courses available on fuel. I also host Fearless on Fridays. So if you're not familiar with Fearless, tune into Fearless. It's an awesome webinar. And then I participate here on Mindset Matters with Allie and Danielle. And our mission, if you will, is to give everything we possibly can to give you fuel for higher achievement and greater happiness, okay, and more awareness in the mind. And so I also have an AI bot with Fuel, along with several other instructors. What does that mean? It means that my bot has been downloaded with over 30 years of interviews, hundreds of articles I've written, hundreds of videos I've done. Basically, the bot is loaded with my body of work. So you can interact with that bot and the other instructors' bots with any kind of follow-up questions. Ask the bot. And incidentally, none of that comes from the internet. It's coming from us and our body of work, our experience. If we can't answer a question you asked because it's out of scope, we will say so. The bots are perfectly honest, or we'll refer it to somebody else who's better equipped to answer those questions. So interact with the bot. And my bot's 20 books that I've published over the years are downloaded into that, over 200 videos. So the bot's got a lot of recall, let's just say. In fact, some cases better recall than I do. So interact with the bots, look into the courses. Today's course is going to draw from, today's lessons from my course Beyond Doubt, which is, by the way, just came out as an audio book. So you can check that out too, Beyond Doubt, 4 Steps to Inner Peace. All right, so now we're talking energy, and the story we tell has a vibration. And so I want you to think first about someone, maybe it's you, but someone who's really struggling with something. Think about that. Somebody who's really struggling with something. I can think of a lot of people, but think about that for a minute. Somebody who's really struggling. And now think about, as a mindful leader, as a observer, as somebody who's truly awake and listening, not talking and blabbing or commiserating, but actually listening, pulling. What story do you hear these people or this person telling? What do you hear? Oh, I'm so upset, or I'm grieving. I lost my spouse 2 years ago. I'm speaking about an actual case here, and I'm just miserable. 2 years ago, look, there's nothing wrong with grieving, but let it go. It's not doing you any good, and whoever you lost doesn't want you to go through life miserable. All right? Hold it for a moment, process it, and let it go. There's not a darn thing you can do about it. Another person, getting old is just, it's terrible. And my response was, I kind of like it, actually. It's better than the alternative, all right, which would be dying. All right. So what story are you hearing? And here's the trick. If you're really attentive and observing, playing the witness, so to speak, you see negativity all over the place, everywhere. Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. You see it all over the news and the TV, and you see people tuned into that, which means the frequency that they're drawing in, again, to quote Einstein, is a not healthy, positive frequency. Misery loves company. So they're just going through life spinning the wheels in a miserable state of being. And the story they're telling themselves is, I am miserable. I am not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm sad. I feel alone. I feel depressed. I'm anxious. I'm confused. I'm conflicted. I don't know what to do. Those stories just reinforce themselves. All right. Now, if you feel that way, and sometimes we do, the question is, how long do you hold on to it? It's not like you're going to be completely immune to anxiety or stress or moments of anger, okay, or grief. The question is, how long do you hold on to that? So in the course Beyond Doubt, we let be step 1, which is, let's be aware of how we're feeling, what we're experiencing. If it's anything negative, I've referenced the map of consciousness, the great work of Dr. David Hawkins. And each of these feelings, from shame and guilt at the bottom, all the way up to appreciation and gratitude and love and joy and peace and ultimate enlightenment, and it's all measurable. Okay, if we're down here in this world of ego and anger and pride and divisive separation, us, them, win, lose, good, bad, comparison, we're in that world. We're not drawing in a true joy and success in life. We're just in this field of competition, and our joy index, so to speak, goes up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's no way to really live a truly healthy, happy life. So we have to let those things go. I've used this Zen teaching a number of times in my classes, but Zen teaching is let it in the front door, that feeling of grief or anxiety, and let it out the back door, but don't invite it for tea. The point being, don't carry it around with you for the rest of your life. Let it go. And don't attach your happiness to anything you cannot control. Anything that you cannot control and you attach your happiness to it, you're going to suffer until you wake up and realize one of the principal laws, the universal laws of life is called detachment, where we let go of anything we can't control. Doesn't mean we don't care about it, just means we don't attach our feelings to something we have no control over. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. So now I want you to bear with me and follow me, if you will, in this meditation. All right. And because what we're going to do is I'm going to give you I ams. These are I ams I use every day. And I'm going to ask you, I'll pause with each one. I'm going to ask you to think about a time, preferably in the last 48 hours, where you have evidence that you did this. So in other words, you're capable and it's real. It's not some philosophy. It's physics, so to speak. It's actual. Yeah, I was in that frequency. Maybe not for very long, but I was there. And the thing is you're not going to do one day of IMs and get there. It's like going to the gym. It's practice. It's practice. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 20 years and retelling my story because I was one who grew up with an I'm not worthy mantra. And for years, I just felt like I didn't deserve true success, joy, happiness, peace of mind, prosperity, growth, amazing things, because I was tripping over myself, believing at the subconscious level and putting out an energy of resistance, of doubt. So to move beyond doubt, we let go of that resistance. We begin to see everything different. I see myself in an I am now in a much more positive way. And then we experience what I like to call flow. We are aligned with the great power of life, with the field of pure potentiality and possibilities. And we prosper like a plant. A plant doesn't work hard to grow. It just grows because it's supposed to. It's its essence. Our essence is to grow and prosper and blossom. All right. So now the I ams. I invite you to close your eyes, relax. Maybe you put your hand on your heart. This is a combination, if you will, of the quick coherence technique, which I referenced on March 2nd in Mindset Matters, and it's in my course. It's a combination of that and emotional freedom technique, which I've touched on before too, which is also in the course. That's meridian tapping and speaking out loud and retelling our story, if you will. It's a letting go process. So this is a little bit of a combination of that. So as you do that, I want you to follow along with me here. And you can say this out loud. If you're on mute, just put say this out loud to yourself. But let's just start with the first one. And by the way, it doesn't matter the order, but you're you're defining your future state. You're defining and getting into the vibration of magnetically pulling in precisely what you're describing, if you will. All right. So let's just start with the first one. And as you do this, I want you to get rhythmic with your breathing. I recommend in to a count of five and out to a count of five. All right. So it's essentially breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're boosting your heart coherence now, your vibe, just through your breathing. Very rhythmic, very calm. Now, as we're doing that, you can say this out loud if you like, but at least in your mind, the first one is I am happy. I am a happy person. I'm joyful. I smile. I laugh. I am a happy person. Think of a time in the last 48 hours where you felt happy. You laughed. You just felt joyful. While you continue to breathe, visualize that. The next one. I am at peace. I am at peace. When in the last 48 hours did you just feel so tranquil, so quiet in the mind, just so relaxed? Maybe you were taking a walk, sitting on a bench in a park. For me, I go to the beach. I live on the beach. I go every night pretty much, and every morning I do this in my meditations. I am at peace. All right, let's try another one. I am learning and growing every day. I am learning something new. I'm growing like that plant because it's my essence to grow. Think of something new you learned. Maybe it was in the last 10 minutes right here. The fact that you're attending this podcast or webinar is proof that you are interested in learning. Maybe it's a book you're reading, or it could be anything. I'm an avid learner, and I plan to be the rest of my life. Just learn. Okay, let's try this next one. I am loving. I am loving. By the way, it doesn't have to be to a person. It could be to your pet. It could be to your home. I love my home. I feel love, and it's a very high vibration. Very high vibration. I feel reverent for life. I love life. All right. I love the work I do. Think about that in the last 48 hours. When did you feel really loving? Next one. I feel kind. I am kind. I am kind. Think of a time in the last 48 hours or so. Maybe it's many times. I'm kind. I was kind to the checkout clerk at the grocery store. I looked at her name tag or his name tag. The person bagging the groceries, I looked at the name tag. I called them by name. I was kind. I smiled. I combined loving kindness. I combined joy and happiness. I had a smile on my face. You're describing your ideal self. And the more you reinforce that vibrationally, the more you embody it. And if you think something long enough, it becomes a belief. And if you believe something long enough, it becomes a habit, something you just continue to repeat habitually, subconsciously. You don't even have to try anymore to be happy. You just are. You don't have to try to be kind. You're not faking it till you make it. You're just a kind person. All right. Next one. I am compassionate. I am compassionate. Think of a time when you were compassionate. You listened to somebody who was struggling. All right. And instead of jumping into their vibration and commiserating with them and, oh yeah, that's terrible. And oh, how can you believe that? You're not doing that. You're listening, you're empathizing, you're compassionate, but you're bringing hope because you're hopeful and you're confident and you're trusting. Those are more I ams. And that, there's a way out of this misery. And because you've found the way out, you can show the way out. Now, people may or may not believe you, but you're not going to stoop to a lower frequency just to try to make somebody feel better because you won't. They're still going to feel miserable. You're doing no good at all. Okay. So I am compassionate. Let's try this one. I am forgiving. I am forgiving. I let it go. Whatever happened in the past, there's nothing I can do about it now. By the way, I'm forgiving of myself. I've made countless mistakes. Beating myself up over something I said or did that was in the past that was foolish. Let it go. Why would you hold on to that and carry that around with the rest of your life? We let those things go. I am forgiving. And by the way, when we put that energy out, I am forgiving, we feel forgiven. What we put out returns. It's karmic law. I am forgiving. I forgive myself. And I forgive whoever may have said or done something to you that you struggle with. I am strong. There's another one. I am strong. I'm vigilant. I have boundaries. Okay. I'm not just going to give in, but I'm strong and resilient. I bounce back if I get, dealt a blow, so to speak, or knocked down. I am strong. Think about a time in the last 48 hours where you stood up for yourself. You said, enough. I'm not going to, I'm not going to take this. I'm going to establish some boundaries. Okay. And resilience is about, I am resilient is, again, bouncing back. I mean, it's adjusting, if you will. I like to think of it as like a GPS. And if you take a wrong turn, the GPS is going to, like autocorrect or whatever you call it. It's going to basically say, hey, now you need to do a U-turn or you need to take a left and then another left and then a right and you're back on track. Resilience in life is essential. As long as we're clear on where we want to go and what we want to be, okay, we're going to get bounced around. We're going to get tested, and we might briefly get angry about something or feel hurt about something, and we autocorrect. Okay. So I am resilient. I am focused and highly productive. Focus means I know where I'm going, where I want to go. All right. I mean, if I'm not focused, how am I going to align to get there? I got to be real clear and real specific. You can't fix vague. You can't fix vague. Okay, we need to be very specific. And these mantras, if you will, these affirmations repeated are specific. And by identifying in the last 48 hours of time when we were actually capable of it and doing it, and we can repeat those behaviors to the point where they're habitual, we're redefining ourselves, so to speak. We're reinventing ourselves. It's the title of one of my first books, Reinvent Yourself. All right. So I'm resilient, I'm focused, I'm productive. The difference, I've talked about this between productivity and activity. Activity is just busy. I'm just busy constantly doing stuff and I don't have time. And well, if you look at what you're busy doing, you find out half of it isn't productive. It's not moving you forward toward your focused goal. It's a distraction. You're spending too much time on social media looking at stuff that simply doesn't matter. All right. So I am creative, intelligent. I am creative, intuitive. All right. I've come up with some pretty creative ideas in the last 40 hours. Here's one in particular. And you're actually thinking about, you know what? I am actually exercising my right brain over my left. We use both, of course, but the right brain is the creative side. It's the intuitive side. And it's the side that helps us bring meaning to the facts, which are left side, logic. So we need both. So we need facts and data and logic and rationale, rational analysis. I teach this in the Myers-Briggs type indicator. We've got the sensing component and then the intuitive component. And what we want to do is connect them. And that allows us create creative solutions. Okay, so I found a creative solution and solved the problem. It could be something as simple as playing Wordle, or a crossword puzzle or something like that. All right, I came up with some creative ideas on that. Okay, so the next one, let's try this one. I am discerning. Discerning also translates into contemplative, meaning I observe, I witness, I am aware of things going on before I just jump in with an opinion. Or here's what I think, or here's what we should do. Stop the shoulds, and we contemplate. We think, we weigh it. This leads to wisdom. We weigh it because there's two sides to every coin. There's two people in every conflict, or two or more. All right. Before we just jump in with an opinion or a bias or a prejudice, we contemplate. And discernment means we really weigh the two options, and it might mean that between option A and option B, we come up with option C, the third right answer. I teach this in my creative problem solving course, the third right answer. It's not A or B. There's no sense in fighting over A and B when we have other solutions, which leads us into creativity again. I am creative in solving problems, all right? Outside the box, if you will. I am integrous. I am trustworthy. People can count on me. I keep my word. This is another one. I keep my word. I keep my promises. I'm an honest, decent, trustworthy person. Think about that for a minute. When's the last time you demonstrated integrity? You did the right thing, even if it upset some people. There are some people that are just, they go through life with such a political, diplomatic type of mindset. They want to try to please everybody, and that is not a good leadership skill. It's just not, because people all have differences. If you're going to lead with strength and integrity, you're going to lead with vision. Okay, you understand it's not going to make everybody happy, but you believe, and your council believes, your coaches believe, because you get help, that it's the right thing to do in that circumstance. That's strong leadership. And strong leaders, whether it's Martin Luther King, in the civil rights movement, I've talked about Dr. King in the past. Okay, he didn't make everybody happy. All right. Any great leader doesn't make everybody happy. So here, this is where integrity comes in, doing the right thing and being essentially predictable. And somebody, you know where they stand. You might not agree with them, but they've got integrity. Think about that. Do I have integrity? If I stood up for myself, if I set boundaries, recognizing I might not make everybody happy. Think about it. There's another one. I am respectful. All right. I may not agree with people on certain things, but I will be respectful. I respect the fact that they can have a different opinion on it, a different way of looking at it. I respect that. I respect diversity. All right. I respect differences. I value diversity. And this isn't just about people respecting another person. I respect my home, my car, my body. I take care of these things. I clean up my messes. All right. I live in a respectful environment. Again, the field's the sole governing agency of the particle. What's your home look like? Have you got a little feng shui going on? You got a nice Zen kind of feel, or is it an absolute mess? Because if it's an absolute mess, it's a reflection of the mess you might be internally. Like the carelessness. What difference does it make if I make my bed, or I don't throw my laundry into a laundry basket? I just leave it all over the floor, whatever people do. All right. You get in a car, and it's ridiculous. You can barely find a place to sit down without sitting on, old Kleenexes or something like that. No, respect is holistic. All right. I am respectful. Think about a time now in the last couple of days where you were truly respectful. A few more here. I am generous. I'm giving. I give everything I can. I give, and it isn't just money and assets and physical things. I give smiles. I give blessings. I might pass somebody and just give them a silent namaste, a nice soul to soul greeting and blessing, and never say a word. But I'm giving. I'm putting out love and positivity. All right. And people can feel it in your body language, in your aura, in the field of energy that surrounds all of us. You light up the room, so to speak. You hear that term. People, when you come into the room, it just seems to feel better. Something. I don't know what it is. Well, it's energy. All right. And it's proven. I'm helpful. Try that one on. I'm helpful. When's the last time you offered help to somebody? Could have been something as simple as holding a door open for somebody that had, with a walker or something like that. Something helpful. I am helpful. I'm a helpful person. All right. It's not all about me. All right. And I'm aware enough to looking around, maybe it's letting somebody come in front of you on the road. Just yeah, go ahead. At a stop sign or something like that. I'm helpful. I am humble. I'm humble. I'm more about being interested than interesting. I'm interested in what you have to say. I'm not telling you my autobiography. I'm not pushing how great I am on you. No, I'm quiet. I'm discerning. I'm patient. I'm open. I'm curious. That's how we learn. It's how we connect with people by listening, by pulling, not pushing. All right. That requires patience. I am patient. Okay. I don't have to hurry. All of these connect, by the way. Discernment, humility, patience, love, caring, compassion. They all fit together. You're basically defining a person who is magnetic in the most positive way. And if that's what you want to evolve to, it's an ever ongoing practice, right? I don't think you'd be on Mindset Matters if this wasn't important to you. You grow just like you're meant to grow, all right? Just like that flower. It grows effortlessly. And let's finish with I am mindful. This is Mindset Matters. I'm mindful. All right. I mind the gap. I call it the gap. I mind the gap between stimulus and response. Somebody insults you, somebody pokes you, instead of an immediate response. We're mindful enough to mind the gap between the two. Just, and this is where discernment comes in. What's the best way for me to respond to this? Yeah, what's the best way for me to respond to this? All right, so those are 20 mantras, if you will, affirmations that make a huge difference in life. So I invite you to continue these, continue to reflect on examples where you actually prove it and do it long enough to where those thoughts become beliefs, those beliefs become habits, and they change your life. Okay. So this is mind over matter. Put your mind to the ideal, the focus you want, and the matter changes. The matter changes. All right. So that's it for Mindset Matters on this Monday, the 23rd. Come back next week and attend again. And if you're interested, come to my Fearless webinar this Friday. They're every Friday, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern. Come to my Fearless episode, and I've got a great show for you. More on that through Fuel. With that, if you get a lot out of this, I invite you to share it with family and friends, with teammates. We could all use these affirmations and to make the world a better place. With that, thank you very much, and